All right.
Do you want me to look there or here? There. Okay.
Focus more there.
All right.
You can look this way.
Okay.
Because I know it's kind of weird staring at you. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm here with Deanna Gauby, the newly made Gauby, and talking about Hour of Code. There was an awesome Hour of Code event at Northridge Middle School on Wednesday, and Deanna organized it. So, what is Hour of Code? Let's start with that.
Yeah, so Hour of Code's an international push to get students coding and give them those tools to develop coding even from a young age, or expose them to coding. And so it runs usually the first week of December, and there's an online program. The kids can do it year-round, but it's more of a push to get them coding all at the same time to give them some experience in it.
So okay, for those who hear coding and think binary numbers or just random letters, what does it look like from a student's perspective to code?
Yeah, I know for me, going to high school and had one computer science class where I had to type in a bunch of zeros and ones, coding for me was even a little intimidating. When I was first contacted about doing Hour of Code, I thought, well, I don't know anything about code, so I don't really know how I'm going to run an Hour of Code. And the program, I kind of started to play around with it. If you go into Hour of Code, and I started with something super simple for kindergarten to first grade, and realized that you're just moving blocks over, and then it actually shows you what code you would have written to create, whether it's Minecraft, Angry Birds. They have a lot of things that are geared really towards students of all ages to get them interested, but they start from a very simple level, and then they also have things, if some of your students, middle school, high school, have been coding for a while, they have some activities that they can do as well for that. So,
and the group you had come in offered almost taking the game coding that you were doing and offered the practical, like, this is what it could look like in the end. So who came in, and what did they offer the students?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a group from Textron, which they're located in this area and the Hearst area, and they came in and they kind of ran the Hour of Code for us. And so I was really upfront with them, saying, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I'm willing to have you guys come in. And so we kind of corresponded with them. They had everything from kind of code breaking to get the kids started, looking at kind of the cybersecurity side of computer and coding. And then they also had students log on and do like a small Minecraft coding from the Hour of Code website. And then they also created, for some of those students that were like able to quickly go through Hour of Code website, they had a hacker card game where they could actually manipulate the JavaScript, and it would change what was going on the computer screen. So gave them a kind of a more in-depth side. Now, personally, for me, I didn't really understand the JavaScript one at all, and trying to help out with students, I would get them to come over, but their volunteers had written the program from what I've gathered, and so they were a good resource for the students.
And there were about 50 students there. Mm-hmm. This is the second year it's happened. Yeah. What's do you see a response in your classes? You teach science, so do kids come to you and say, can we do this, or can we try something with this, or is there any coding that's filtering its way into your classroom?
Yeah, I'm very interested in trying to figure out how to do more coding within what we teach and within our teaks. And I know last year I kind of emailed a quick story back to the girl that was running the program, because the next day, from the code breaking, they had little keys basically that they could use for the codes, and I had students using those keys the next day to write notes to each other in class. And so although I told them, hey, you guys can't write notes to each other, but I appreciate that you're using coding to write notes to each other. And so I haven't seen any of that this year yet, but it's only a couple days into it. So I know there's a lot of programs out there, and we have robots in our tech lab and things like that. So I definitely think it could be easily integrated into what we're teaching in science, for sure.
So the website is ourcode.
I believe it's ourcode.org.
.org. Yeah. Google search Hour of Code, and we'll just go from there. What was the thing that the students found that was most challenging? Because it's Minecraft, it's Frozen, or Angry Birds. That's all fun, but did you find kids struggling with it, or did they suck it in?
Yeah, and I think from what I understand more and more about coding is it's really critical thinking skills, and it's logic, and it's almost like problem solving. And so even a student starting off and just kind of playing around with it and then having success with it and saying, okay, cool, all right, now the next step will be, and they add more, they get more and more complicated. And so I think for me, even on the encryption sheets the kids were doing, it started from a little bit easier and then it got a little bit challenging. And so for me, watching that struggle and watching them work through it, and then when they finally unlocked it, it was like really exciting for them to have some success. And the same thing with the JavaScript. They would try to grab something and change something, and then the first time it showed up on what the person would be seeing, not the coding, you could tell that there was a lot of excitement there. Yeah, and they would keep trying to do something else from that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing about it. If you want more information about Hour of Code, search it on Google, talk to your DLS, and thank you, Deanna.
Yeah, thank you.